Welcome to Stardew Valley. You must be the new farmer. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. It was awfully nice of your grandfather to leave his old cottage to you. Sure, it's a bit overgrown, but with some hard work and tender care, I'm sure you'll be able to make a wonderful farm. Feel free to get yourself acquainted with our little town and meet some of the locals. I'm sure you'll fit right in here. This start of your new life is entirely up to you. Your destiny is yours and yours alone to decide. But regardless of the path you take, I'm sure you'll do your grandfather proud. So get yourself some rest. It's a big world outside, and I'm sure you're ready to start all over. Here in Stardew Valley. Released in February of 2016, Stardew Valley has been highly praised as a spiritual successor to Harvest Moon. And while it's very easy to draw comparisons to the two games, I would say that Stardew Valley has enough originality to stand on its own. In fact, this is easily one of the best games that I've played in a long time, and it's also why I sound very relaxed right now. Well, of course, these may have something to do with it. But of course, I should back up my statement, so now for the reviewing. This game was the point in which I realized that high-end 2D graphics are far and away greatly superior to low-end 3D graphics. I don't even know where to begin with this game. Should I start by praising the lush foliage? Maybe I could note how each and every character has their own unique design, which perfectly displays their personality. I could even say that the animals are designed in a way that you can tell their mood by simply looking at them. Oh, I just don't know. Suffice to say, this game is gorgeous. This game is on par with Chrono Trigger in the amount of detail shown in the environments, items, NPCs, and plants. This game is sure to entrance with its serene and vivid displays, so much so that regardless of the season, you can truly appreciate the hard work done by the developers and the beautiful nature of this town. The gameplay is pretty straightforward, truth be told. Whether mining, farming, fishing, or just exploring, it shouldn't take too long to get accustomed to the controls. Running your farm can be a lot of work, and thankfully there are ways to help lighten the load, such as automatic sprinklers and feeders. Plus, if you get yourself married, then your significant other might just help with your chores. Notice I didn't say wife. There's just so much freedom in this game that deciding what to do can be an adventure in and of itself. Unfortunately, once you complete the main quest and feel that you've proved yourself to your grandfather, the game starts to get a bit tedious. But I wouldn't worry too much about that, considering it took me 80 hours to get to that point. Plus, I did find it a little disappointing that the map doesn't change between playthroughs. This isn't exactly necessary, but it would have increased the replay value. But don't worry, the multiplayer will soon be released. Eventually. I guess the only other issue I have with the gameplay is that the direction you're standing and the direction that the mouse is pointed will occasionally not cooperate. In other words, you'll try to click one way to attack an enemy, and you'll get turned around. This can be fixed by just keeping a closer eye on your direction, but it is a bit of an odd mechanic. The soundtrack for this $15 game is over 2 hours long. There are 3 different tracks for each season, custom tracks for certain buildings such as the bar, museum, and shop, and unique tunes for festivals, rainy days, and even certain people. Suffice to say, every single one of them is extremely appropriate to the setting and wonderfully sets the mood and atmosphere. But even more impressively, once the music stops, you are then treated to the beautiful sounds of nature. It is so peaceful to wander throughout the town while the sounds of waves, birds, rain, and falling leaves fill the air. I've said this about many games, but I would highly encourage listening to the soundtrack alone, even if you have no interest in purchasing this title. Although, if you have no interest in this game, then why are you watching this at all? Do you just like me that much? Really? I'm touched. So, the base story for this game is quite simple. You received a letter from your dying grandfather, which he told you to open only when the burden of modern life became too much to bear. Sure enough, the day came, and at this point you realized that he left you the deed to his farm in Stardew Valley. Lucky bastard. So, this is when you decide to start your life anew. That being said, this game is largely open-ended. If you decide that you want to save the community center like any good 80s film, then more power to you. Alternatively, you could just buy into the corporate shills that you used to work for and make it into a warehouse. You could find yourself a love interest, or just become a shut-in. Don't want to maintain your farm? You don't have to. That's really the beauty of it. You can play this game however you want. The only penalty for goofing off comes at the beginning of year 3, but that doesn't really affect the gameplay all that much. So really, your fate truly is in your hands. You left the world of corporate autocracy to achieve your own destiny, and that's exactly what you get to do. So naturally, I highly recommend checking out this game. I've enjoyed this title far more than I even thought I would, and if this game even seems remotely up your alley, I assure you that you won't regret giving this game a chance. If you're reading this, then you must be in dire need of a change. The same thing happened to me long ago. I'd lost sight of what mattered most in life, real connections with other people and nature. So I dropped everything and moved to the place I truly belong. I've enclosed the deed to that place in Stardew Valley. I know you'll do me proud. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this or any of my videos, then please like, comment, subscribe, and share them with your friends. Or share them anywhere. Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, it doesn't matter. Just share my videos. Please.